Genesis chapter 38, verse 1. And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brethren, and turned in to a certain Adullamite, whose name was Hira. Verse 2. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was the daughter of Shua, and he took her, and went in unto her. Verse 3. And she conceived, and bare a son, and he called his name Er. Verse 4. And she again conceived, and bare a son, and he called his name Onan. Verse 5. And she yet again conceived, and bare a son, and he called his name Shelah, and he was at Chezib when she bare him. Historical context. In ancient Canaanite society, family alliances and marriages were often used to strengthen tribal bonds and secure economic interests. Verse 6. And Judah took a wife for Er his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. Verse 7. And Er, Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, wherefore he slew him also. Verse 8. And Judah said unto Onan, Go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. Verse 9. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his, and it came to pass, when he went in unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. Verse 10. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord, wherefore he slew him also. Historical context. In ancient Middle Eastern cultures, brothers were expected to marry their deceased sibling's wife as a matter of family obligation and religious duty. Verse 11. Then said Judah to Tamar his daughter-in-law, Remain a widow at thy father's house, till Shelah my son be grown, for he said, Lest peradventure he die also, as his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. Verse 12. And in process of time the daughter of Shua Judah's wife died, yet for her son Urias she wept not nor made she any lamentation. Verse 13. And Judah was comforted, and went with his friend Hira his Adullamite to Timnath. Verse 14. And it was told Tamar, See, thy father-in-law Judah goeth up to Timnath to shear his flock. Verse 15. And she put her widow's garments off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place, which is by the way to Timnath, for she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. Historical context. In ancient Middle Eastern cultures, women often resorted to cunning or deceit when their marriage prospects were limited due to family obligations or economic constraints. Verse 16. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot, because she had covered her face. Verse 17. And he turned unto her by the way, and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law Winky Face, and she said, What wilt thou give me, that thou mayest come in unto me? Verse 18. And he said, I will send thee a kid of the goats from the flock. And she said, Well, let it be according to thy word, only send me a kid of the goats. But she delayed him, and sent him not away. Verse 19. And in due time he sent a kid of the goats by the hand of his friend the Adullamite. Verse 20. And the woman took the kid, and boiled it, and made ready bread thereof, and brought it before Judah, and he did eat and drink, and rose up, and went his way. Historical context. In ancient Middle Eastern cultures, hospitality was a sacred obligation, with guests expecting to be treated with respect and generosity by their hosts. Verse 21. And she arose, and went away, and laid aside her veil from her, and put on the garments of her widowhood. Verse 22. And Judah sent the kid by the hand of the same Adullamite, but he found not Tamar. Verse 23. And he asked the men of that place, saying, Where is the harlot, that was openly by the wayside? And they said, There was no harlot in this place. Verse 24. And he returned to Judah, and said, I have not found her, also the kid is not with me, but some say, An ass it was, yet he hath thought nothing, but hath committed his vow. Verse 25. And when he had tarried a while at home, they sent him, and brought back to him Tamar by the hand of his friend the Adullamite. Historical context. The Hebrew laws governing marriage and inheritance were complex, with multiple forms of marriage, such as levirate marriage, the marrying of a widow to her deceased husband's brother, and the sale or exchange of wives for economic purposes. Verse 26. And Judah saw her, and inasmuch as she had covered her face, recognized her not. Verse 27. So she took and put upon her veil, and wrapped herself up, and sate in an open place, which is by the way to Timnath, for he that found her said, It is an harlot. Verse 28. And when Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot, because she had covered her face. Verse 29. And he turned unto her by the way, and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee, for he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. Verse 30. And she said, What wilt thou give me, that thou mayest come in unto me? Verse 31. And he said, I will send the kid of the goats by the hand of my friend the Adullamite. Verse 32. And she said, Nay, my lord, for the kid shall not be given to me to burn. But he bowed down his head and went in unto her. Verse 33. And it came to pass, when he went in unto her, that he espoused her not to his son Shelah only, but also spake to her of this kind, saying, She may bear a son to my father. Verse 34. And she put the veil from off her, and put on what clothes of hers she had, and instead of her veil did cover herself. Genesis chapter 39. Verse 1. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him from the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither. Verse 2. And the Lord was with Joseph, and prospered him, and gave him favor in the sight of his master the captain of the guard. Verse 3. And he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put under his hand. Verse 4. And it came to pass from the time that he was made governor in the land of Egypt, even unto his death, that he asked not Pharaoh also one thing, as he did at the first. Verse 5. And though he dwelt at Mesopotamia, even in the land of Kedorlaomer, yet he dwelt at Mesopotamia. Historical context. Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, was a high-ranking official in Egypt's military who held significant power and influence in the royal court. Verse 6. And Joseph was a goodly person, and well beloved of him, but when his master's wife saw Benjamin, she set her eyes on him to be given him for a servant. Verse 7. And he said unto the men, From whence are ye? And they said, We are from Charan. Verse 8. And he said unto them, Do ye know Ephraim the son of Joseph? And they said, Nay. Verse 9. And he said, Wherefore then do ye come up to me? Verse 10. And they said, We came to buy food. Historical context. The ancient Egyptian economy relied heavily on trade, with merchants coming from all over the Mediterranean region to purchase goods such as grains, spices, and precious metals.